Has the global investor, you think, given up on the idea of Indian reform actually happening?
No, not at all. Not at all. Why?
Because they haven't seen much reform in the last 5 years anyway, have they? I mean, this investment is not a story that the new government came with.
I mean, okay, leave aside a portfolio investor. We take investor into in the corporate world, right? What is he looking at? He's looking at power sector reforms. He's seeing it. He's coming in because of that. He's seeing, telecom going from 2G to 3G to future. I think the banking sector, insurance, we have seen them come in. I don't think there is a fear from the corporate world globally that India is not allowing them to come in, or further reforms are required to allow them to come in. Sure, they'd like to see insurance, for example, go from 26% to 49%, for example, and maybe they can consolidate the position here. But I don't think either the FDI space or the FI space is right now focused on lack of reforms to come into India. I'm fairly convinced on.
Okay.
They might take a call and say, okay, should we come in today or should we come in tomorrow? Yes. But should we not come in because of the lack of reforms? Absolutely. I think the word reforms was necessary in the first decade of 91 onwards. I don't think it's a continuous. It's not reforms which is going to attract.
So foreign interest is not deterred; it's only delayed.
Yeah, This is not a party line for a press interview or for my job. I genuinely believe that. I think it's just delayed.
Okay. On the India Inc. point of view, do you think M&A is likely to also see a bit of a lull as this happens, or is that going to see a good opportunity to make use of what are static times?
I think depending on access to capital, which I think is also an important aspect of global M&A. No, I think that continues. I think actually speaking, maybe it's a bit of a lull right now. That I don't think will stop. Maybe sectoral specific. We have seen Australia clearly an attraction for the resource area, coal. There's been more than one interest out there. I think that probably continues. I think the West has people have looked at opportunities. Even small ones. I mean, look at what Godrej just did in South Africa, or even a year ago, Sri Lanka did in Brazil.
Yeah.
And I was in Brazil in March, and people talk about people actually quite surprised that somebody from India has come all the way out there and made 2 acquisitions. I think that's pretty.
So there are no more sector trends in acquisitions, are there?
I think to an extent, because of our need power therefore needing coal, and therefore I think that trend probably does continue. Africa, I'd say Mozambique or Zimbabwe, or out this side of Indonesia or Australia. I think that's one trend. Not easy, obviously, to close on, but I think that's one trend which will continue.
On the fundraising side, I noticed everybody's obsessed with the bond overseas. Has a lot to do with the interest rates back home, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and the opportunity and the appetite for paper. I mean, we just concluded 2 transactions, one for JLR, one for Vedanta. We were lead managers on both, and extremely successful transactions. The book on both was very solid.
I'd be curious, are they raising money to keep it, to put it to use later, given that they themselves are saying we're slowing down on expansion? So, I mean, what are they raising the money for?
I think in both cases, JLR clearly is restructuring themselves, and Vedanta, I think they have, as it's in the public domain, they have plans they need to conclude their transaction with Cairn, and depending on what happens there, they will need the money. So I think there's a need. Now, maybe if something changes, there's an alternative. But I think the investor, when they hear the story, have accepted the fact that corporate India needs the money, if not today, tomorrow, and are willing to give it.
Okay.
So, and they take advantage of rates clearly.
Surely, of course. So if India is a stock, are you putting a buy or you're keeping a hold?
Me personally?
There's nothing personal when it comes to a banker from Credit Suisse.
Long-term buy.
Long-term buy. That's almost like saying short-term hold.
No. I think short-term. Actually, if you ask my colleagues, I'm a bad trader. So Yeah, short-term neutral to a long-term hold.
Okay.
Long-term buy.
The last time we met, you were
Yes.
wearing red-rimmed glasses. This time, slightly more sober, black-rimmed glasses. Is this about the state of the
No, no,
the way you look at investment these days?
No, not at all. Okay, that means we met last year. I changed glasses this year. Why did I change? Maybe just a new look. Maybe I'm turning the big 50 this year, so.
Oh, okay.
So
it's time to cruise.
Yeah, it's time to change.
Right, time to change. One thing though that's been constant about you is your sort of likeness for having Ganeshas around you. Is that a superstition
Very much.
or what is it?
No, I'm not sure if it's superstition. I think it's all about faith. If there's something which I believe in, it's fate and faith. And you know, I'm a Jain, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I like Ganpatis. These have all been gifted to me. Actually, when I redid this office, I had to put some away because there wasn't enough space. So no, I think just pure faith, and it's not a superstition. It's not as if I pray every day. I don't, but I like to have them around me.
And
maybe
faith, I guess faith also drives the market, doesn't it?
Faith does drive the market. Faith drives a lot of things, and I think it drives the market too.
Okay. Good luck with the Big 50 and 2011 on the market.
Thank you. Thank you.